Let me get the comments going. Let's see. There we go. It is Friday, September 23rd, and it is my precious, dear, wonderful daughter-in-law's birthday today. They recently moved to Nashville, and I said, "What are you doing today?" And Joey and Shelly are just downtown doing their bit in downtown Nashville, and I'm sitting there going, it might be time to get some of those really super cool cowboy boots. So here we are. Um, you people do not disappoint. That's all I'm going to say. You do not disappoint. Before we get started, I just want to put out there that the pattern is available online at thequiltshow.com, and that is what we're going to be doing next. It's available both digitally and hard copy. You're going to need that. Unless you have the old one, then you'll be fine with it. But if you don't, and the old one you can't even get anymore. So there you go on that. Then it looks like this is a go. And this will be our slow stitch along during the holidays. And in fact, I believe Kristen has already ordered the fabric. We're going to get it printed, and we've come up with 2 colorways of thread. Okay. Now this slow stitch along has nothing to do with the real projects we're going to be doing. Come here. Oh, there we go. It's kind of like a dual thing going on, and I can see this slow stitch Friday turning into something. I don't know what, but who would have guessed this whole thing, right? And okay, so here we go. Maybe this is our next project. Rhonda sent this to me. People, those are real, okay? I didn't know how to import the video, but that's real. Should this be our next project? Oh, wait, there's more. We could do embroidery on each pocket. Just saying. Okay. I'm kidding, people. Kidding. Okay. Sharon sent me this. Oh, God. Oh, you people. How do they get these cats to do this? I don't know if that one even looks like Heidi, only plus 10 pounds. Okay, enough. Ridiculous. Okay, so Joanne sent this picture. Oh, Joanne. Okay, so this is a true scrap quilt. She had cut out, like, I think she said 2 inches, 2.5, 3-inch, 4-inch blocks as she made quilts, and just set it in boxes. And then she thought, okay, I'm going to make something out of it. Now, the first thing she sent me was a close-up, which, well, you know what? Let me show you the close-up, because I looked at this and I go, okay, so she's using all those scraps of fabric. Yay, we love that. And then this is to show the quilting. She's working on with her BSR. And her husband, Bernina Stitch Regulator, and her husband, who normally could give a rip about quilts, was pretty taken with this. So I go, okay, that's cool. And then I opened this and I went, whoa, that is super cool. Because you start with something so flippin' traditional, and then it eases out into the world of modern. I mean, and it is absolutely fabulous. And I want to point out too, the other thing I really like, Joanne, is that in the background, you didn't just use one neutral, you shook it up a little bit. And I think that really adds to the interest of the whole thing. So thank you for sending that. That was a pretty sweet surprise. Okay, and then Sue Rapp, who I'm going to be seeing in a couple of days. She's from Hilton Head. She's been coming to my retreat since the onset. These, I believe, Sue, you said were hand dyes, and you made this 100 years ago. I must have showed it at retreat or something. I don't know what, but thanks for digging it up so we can see it. It is, to me, very visually stimulating. And I'm thinking, Sue, for you, this if I looked at this, I wouldn't put your name to it, okay? but that's what makes it so flippin' wonderful. All right. And then Kristen sent this. She just finished it, bound it up. This is our block of the month this year, right? And you can just stop in this center if you want, but also it's going to go in her local quilt show. And she used Susan Cleveland's not flying. What are those things called? What are those things called? Those triangle things. She used Prairie Points. Oh, she used Susan Cleveland's Prairie Point Maker, and that is in one of our shows. You would just type in Susan Cleveland. A couple shows are going to come up, and then find the chapter that's got Prairie Points with her Prairie Point Maker. It's pretty slick, all right. And then you remember, meow, yeah. So you remember this one that Chris was doing, okay? Very organized, lovely. I love the inner border. I just cannot wait to see this sewn together. Whoops. Whoops. Oh no. Oh no, but this is even better. What? What? I didn't do it. Not me. I'm too precious. Oh, I just died laughing when I saw that this morning. So I just have to tell you, everybody, that when you send me these things, I don't really look at them until the morning of what I'm doing this, because I'll forget. But between those Crocs and the puppy, it just get any better. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what are we doing today? What we're going to do today are like those swirly lines, all right? Well, in fact, let me get over to my PowerPoint, and let's just go through. And also, a lot of you have been asking about, for a while there was a quilt behind me before we did these built-ins, and it had a really groovy border with the swirly lines and all that. I'll show you how to do that today too. Okay. Sorry, pull yourself together, please. Me, not you. Okay, wait, I did something wrong here. Let me escape out of that. I gotta pay attention. Okay, so let me go up to my computer screen. And what we're gonna do, see where those arrows are? That's what I'm gonna show you how to do today, all right? So I'm gonna have to get rid of the comments a moment for me, and I'll come back to them. Let me get back down to where I need to be. There we go. So this is where we ended up on Wednesday, right? Yeah, we ended up on how to do all these little short sticks and all that. By the way, I did a guild presentation with Waterloo up in Canada on Wednesday, and I invited a lot of these people to come here today, so I hope you're here. That was really fun. I love doing Zoom presentations. Love it. Okay, so see, let's go back. See how these lines are super straight, right? Super straight. Well, this was my first one, which I've shared with you before, my first improv quilt, and the lines were curved. And basically, it's the same thing, only you just curve the lines. But I wanted to show this. Oh, the other thing, you'll see circles in here, and forgive me if you've been here longer than 2 days. Those circles are Dale Fleming's 6-minute pieced circles. Pieced, okay? So what we're going to talk about is this right here, okay? There we go. That's silk too. And it doesn't have to be silk, but that is silk. Gosh, silk had something beautiful. One of you got hold of me and said, where do I get my silks? Because for Christmas, that's what she's asking for. And it is Bay Quilts in Richmond, California. Last year, I asked for Sue Spargo fabric, and I'm telling you, I was thrilled with what the kids gave me, just thrilled. All right, so it is silk, so I did back it with fabric prep, okay? But that has nothing to do with the lesson here, except for the fact, because the back is prepped with fabric prep, there's a top and a back side. As if let's say there were a print. There's the print, and then there's the back side of the print. it's imperative that you lay them down on top of each other, and you can see on the bottom here on the right-hand side, the overlap is about an inch. The overlap has to be what the curve is going to be. That said, you cannot go wild on this. You absolutely cannot go wild. These are soft, gentle curves. So you can see there, I cut, and then I took away the excess on each side and just set it aside. Maybe I can use them for little shots of color or something like that. But see how gentle that curve is? And again, like the sticks, you are going to overcut whatever you think the size is going to be. And that said, this is much more random than the sticks, the sizes and all that. And we'll talk about how to put that together. So what you'll do is you will line them up, and you can see how they're not kind of hanging together, how the top one is veering to the left and the bottom is veering to the right. No big deal, because the curve is super gentle. And we've done this several times on the quilt show as an FYI. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them together, the top and the bottom, and I'm going to line it up as it goes using a quarter inch. Now, if I don't have a quarter inch, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but I don't want to be sloppy about it either, because even though this is free form, you want nice, sharp work. So it's going to be a little funky like that. Of course it is. And then you're going to open it up, and then you're going to press it. And just like the straight sticks, you want to press it very, very well, which means ultimately you'll be approaching it from the top. So now I want to cut another sliver into it. So just like before, on the left-hand side, I've overlapped. I'm going to go back and take a look, see. Okay, there we go. See how we've got that yellow there? I'm going to press it, and then I'm going to overlap it again. I'm choosing that pink or fuchsia or whatever, random. And there you go. See how that is? Again, super, super gentle, soft curve. And then what you're going to want to do when you're done pressing is perhaps put on flatter, or you could put on acorn starch, just something to kind of get it flat and taut. You do not want it bumpy and lumpy. Yes, John? Okay, that I realized I was not on my Bernina on that one. I was on a Brother when I did it. So on your Bernina, you're going to use your 37 or 97, your quarter inch foot. All right, probably one without the flange, which is a 50 something. So yeah, I looked at that. I'm going, wait, that doesn't look like my foot. Exactly. So that's all you do. You just keep going bigger and bigger and bigger, and you end up with these random sized blocks. You make like neighborhoods. And then what we're going to do is put the neighborhood together down the road. So don't stress out over it. Just make them in neighborhoods. And they could, if I'm going to do like don't stress out over it. It's not like the sticks. Okay, so many of you asked about this quilt that was hanging behind me. No, there's not a pattern for it, but those are pieced circles, which are Dale Fleming's 6-minute piece circles. I would guess that those blocks are about 6-inch finished. It's put away. I did not measure it, which means, you would just trim those things down to 6.5. And then the border is just done with these random these random soft curves. I want to point out, just like when we looked at the quilt that Kristen, wait, who is it? That Joanne sent with the neutrals that were different colors. The background here, again, these are cherry wood. I don't know if I said that already. But even within the black, it's not one black. And I think the success of this quilt is that the shades are varied in all of it. So that's just a tip worth 10 cents. Okay, here's another one. This pattern is in my book, Scrap Quilting, and I do believe I have some copies of that. Okay, but I want to look here because in both cases, the corners are mitered because I did not want to abruptly end the corners. And that's a lesson for another day. You could get on TQS and look up mitered corners, and surely it will come up. And even here it's mitered, which means let's say I'm working on this border right now, and let's say the border is 6 inches wide finished. You know, when you're doing mitered, you're going to have to add at least 12 inches onto the length, if not 18 to 20 for good measure, so that you can get that mitered corner. So let's again pretend we're doing 6 inches, okay? Now, what you're going to do is cut something that's way taller than 6 inches. So I'm going to say, hypothetically, this is at least 8 inches, all right? So I've just cut a soft cut in a fabric. And then what I'm going to do is insert the stick just like that. There's no reason the left couldn't be another color, the right couldn't be another color, but this stick will insert beautifully. And guess what? It doesn't have to be on the bias because the curve is so gentle. I think that was super shocking to me. So here we are now. Now I'm on a 37 foot, okay? So I'm just sewing it on, getting, let me see, what is that? It's 3/4 inch wide, the stick, like before. And you can see how nicely that 37 foot fits in to that 1/4 inch, then with the left-hand side riding on the seam that's already, I'm getting email. So there you go. Again, the top is super wonky and the bottom, thus why I started with 8 inches, knowing it's going to be a 6-inch finished border. And then I'm just going to put another fabric underneath it. Like I just showed you, the curve does not extend the overlap. And my guess is I marked that with a friction pan, just so you could see it. Take the cut and then sew it together. You could do this without it. We'll go back and look at one of those quilts again. You can do it without a stick, with a stick, it doesn't matter, but you're changing up the colors of the border. Oh, another thing you can do is put in half sticks. What if I were to do this again, I might well put, no, that's what I would do. I do two different colors like that. So that's another option. Those sticks are up for grabs, right? Again, 8 inches tall, wide, yeah, high. Sew that puppy in. And look how wonky it's getting. Again, why I started at 8 inches. And then this is what happens. Then you trim. And then you've got, that would be trimmed to 6.5, okay? And then you've got these scraps, but you've got a beautiful, beautiful border that is prepared and ready to go. Let me escape this. Okay, let's go up and look at this guy. Okay, big screen. I guess it doesn't, yeah. Well, it looks as if I put a stick in between each color change. Let's go back one on this one. Okay, this one I did not. Can you guys see the difference? There's color change without sticks. And actually, let me go forward. I think I like this one better because it's more floaty. I think that's the one for me. Okay, so what we're going to be doing next on Monday, let me escape out of this thing and get up into my thing. What we're going to be doing Monday is the funky log cabins. That's what we're going to be doing. Let me get comments on. I had to take them off so I could see what was going on. I think pretty soon you're going to be getting to the point where you're going to go like, okay, I want to do something more freeform, or okay, I want to do something that's more stick oriented. This is where the fun is going to begin in this process. This is completely opposite of what we'll be doing with the basket quilt, okay? That's going to be very Boom, 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 boom. This one is more freeform. So, take your pick. Let me look and see. Um, John came in and told me the foot. Got some other birthdays going on today. So does anybody remember the name of the shop? I think was in New York, when we did the silk embroidery. I got a fat quarter, but I can't. All I know it was in New York. Um, Roxanne, what was the name of that quilt store that was in New York? I don't know, but I'll tell you, if you call Bay Quilts in Richmond, I know they would happily ship it. Another place to get silks, of course, is at quilt shows, right? And just remember, when you're working with like a Dupioni, you have got to back it with something. And I like Quilter's Select Fabric Prep. Send pictures of your sticks. Oh, thank you to Alex Anderson, spelt weird, at Gmail. So, do we have any questions here, guys? Oh, also, it's called Handmade, and she's going to be teaching how to do both handmade piecing as well as machine piecing. It's a beautiful quilt. I believe we're out of kits. It's a monochromatic blue with some dash of colors thrown in. I think Mood in New York City would have six silks. I'll bet you, Jeannie, that it is a more of a not a quilt shop, but more of a garment shop, maybe. Where they've got it all, like we have Britex here. Okay, here we go. Well, you guys are really quiet today. Is that the good news or the bad news? That's all I want to know. Okay. Where to buy the cuddly fabric from? Oh, from who I interviewed. I would, because she was just at Linda Z's, call her. I would, you know what? I'll tell you what I would do. I would go to shannonfabrics.com, find her little place, get hold of her, and ask her. Also, you can see on the map where she's been and where she's going, so that will help you determine where to get it from. Yeah, that stuff is awesome. I mean, I shared that our kids had it. I also gave it to all the little old ladies in my mom's home. And when it was time to move her out, because she'd met her time, I wanted that blanket back. I mean, I love that blanket. Okay, Chantel. I love seeing names I know. Okay, it's shannonfabrics.com. Thanks, John. And then on the top bar, there's initials. It's like Teresa's Tuesday class or TT thing or something. Ben Franklin has him, Kathy? That's great. And you really want to make sure it's Shannon, you guys, because there's substandard stuff and you don't want to deal with that. You want Shannon, okay? All right. So this weekend, I'm going to get ready for retreat. We thought John's surgery is going to be next Wednesday. I don't know. He's still got that gross thing on his arm. He went back to urgent care and they did a biopsy and it's not like infected, which is what the big worry was. So I don't know what his doctor's going to say. Please share the picture of Granny's quilts. Susan, you're going to have to email me that because I am not sure what that is. And I will tell you, I know you guys send me things and it's always in good intention to get it up, but sometimes life gets in the way and I get a little confused. Just saying. So I'm going to go out to work. I'm going to go get fabric and start all that embroidery and make you jealous and tease you. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll keep you posted on Monday with what happens. Hey, you guys, thank you so much. Have a great my grandchildren quilts. Susan, I still don't. My grandkid. We haven't quilted yet. We're gonna do pillowcases.
The Shannon ones.
The Shannon ones.
I'll bet she needs the Shannon.
If it's Susan, if you're talking about the Shannon ones, it's just two pieces of Shannon, two, I think 1 yard, two yards pillowcase together. Okay. Oh yeah, no, those I bought them. Sometimes they have them at market. Yeah, they don't sell them, but I bought them. Just saying. Okay, we're gonna have a great weekend here. Someone's at the door. Gotta go. Bye bye.